hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello, hello.
So we're done with the first break at the end of the first 10 overs. The score now is 88 for 2 for the Utpal Warriors. Decent platform that they've built in the first 10 overs. If they can accelerate a little from here, they can probably target something in the range of 180 to 200, which would be a very, very good score on the surface. Kalpesh now. Kalpesh and Abhishek forming a good partnership so far. Jayesh is now brought into the attack for his first over. So first 10 overs very much in the favor of Utpal Warriors. A couple of wickets picked up by the Avm Yoddhas, which does give them some confidence, but they need to break this partnership. If they want to establish their dominance, if they want to limit the runs, they need to break this partnership. That's the question. Can they do it? That's what the next 10 overs will tell us. We start with a single. Now, hit on the other side. He's found the gap there. That's going to go for 4 more runs. Brilliant shot by Abhishek. 40 runs comes up for him. He's really getting comfortable on the field now. Look how he moves, waits till the right moment, and just drags the ball all the way into the gap there. All the way for 4 runs at square leg. Jayesh in the attack once again. Slow ball this time. It's in the air. Is there someone underneath it? No, there is nobody there. That's going to be another 4. So inching ever so close to the 50-run mark there. Brilliant shot there. Saw the opening, opened up his arms, rotated the bat, and that's gone for 4 all the way towards the offside. 97 comes up, just 3 runs short of the 100 mark for the team now. Started this over very well. A single and then a couple of fours, so already up to 9. Jayesh needs to change something. This time hit straight and he puts his legs out. He sticks it. That one's gonna hurt. That one's gonna sting. You can see that, but that was brave of Jayesh because that would have gone for a 4. With the speed at which it was just running away straight, that would have been a 4. So that's 4 runs save for the team. Now once again, this time hit towards the off, down towards long on, just a single. Changing the field now, the left-hander comes on strike. 98 on the board. Kalpesh on strike now. Hit towards leg. There's going to be a fielder there. They're asking for 2. Are they going to get there in time? Looks like they will. Well, that's good running. That's very, very good running here. 2 runs and no ball given as well. So that's going to be an additional ball. Already 13 runs of this over. It's turned out to be expensive. Final ball of the over now. Headed hard towards long on. It's going to be a single to end the over. 14 runs from this over. 100 comes up as well. 102 for 2 at the end of 11 overs. now choosing for Gotham now. It's hit hard, it's hit in the air now, it's got flight. Lands in no man's land. And a single is all they're gonna take now. 13 runs conceded in the first over there for Gotham. Giving him the chance once again, maybe chance at redemption. Maybe takes up a wicket, breaks this partnership up, especially if he can take the wicket of Abhishek. Headed towards the leg side, another single. So good strike rotation between the two. They're making sure that one batter is not caught on the ropes, not just facing all the balls, especially dot balls, which as they pile up, they increase the pressure that the batters face as well. Got him now from the other side to the left-hander. Sliced it slightly, found the gap there, and that could run for four. Yes, it does. He finds the boundary there. That was a good shot. That was a very good shot. One hundred 82 now. Kalpesh once again on the attack now. Sliced it once again. This time, I think it's Mr. Fielder once again. Same shot. And he's going to get the boundary once again. This time, the fielder should have gotten something on it. I think he did just get a soft hand on it, but he needed to do a little bit better there. It was a difficult fielding to do, difficult piece of fielding to do, but it's just cost his team another 4 runs now. Now it's in the air this time. Now where will it go? It's gonna go all the way. Clears the fence there. That is a maximum. Well, that is a big one. You can see that, and the cheers from the dugout because that was an exquisite shot. 33 comes up for Kalpesh as well. This has been great acceleration. 14 runs in the last 3 balls for Kalpesh. Very, very expensive over. And now that might run ahead down for another four. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. I think it did. Wide and a four. Well, that's going to be a wide, a by, and a four because it doesn't look like the batter got something on it. So the extras keep piling up. 34 runs given in just 2 overs. 21 runs given in this over alone. They need to do something. They need to control the onslaught that they're facing. Final ball of the over now for Gotham. And that's in the air. That's going to be six. Looks like it. It's one bounce, four, and that's going to be 4 more runs. So 127 for two at the end of 12 overs. And Kalpesh on 37 now, Abhishek on 46. Something has to change for the Avm Yoddhas. Otherwise, the match is going to get out of their hands. Nilay now brought in the attack first over for Nilay, maybe to change things up a little, maybe to try something different. And it starts with the shot in the gap, which could be saved. Can they save it? Yes, they can. Three's the ask. I think they're going to run three. That's very good running. They've gotten 3 runs, but he saved 1 run for the team. It starts with these small, small marginal gains. Once again in the attack, this time knocked behind a little. That's going to be covered up. So 130 comes up now. Wide given as well. Once again in the attack. This time just tried to swing it and it's kept in the place. Just slower ball this time. Fooled the batsman slightly. Shot now. That's gonna go, but there's a player there. There's a fielder there. So the fielder in deep cover, making sure there's no boundary. Turning out to be a good over so far. It's just 6 runs off it comparatively to what we've seen over the past 3 overs. Don't want to curse the bowler here, but he's been bowling a very good length and line. Four balls done. 8 runs conceded. 135 for two now. 2 balls to go. Kalpesh on 39 and 50 comes up for Abhishek as well. That's in the air. That's a big one. That might go all the way. And it's caught. I think it's caught in the deep. Yes. He's got the breakthrough. He's got the breakthrough. He's got the important wicket there, like we were saying. Abhishek's just got his 50. Kalpesh was on 39. He was accelerating mighty well. And that's a good catch in the deep. That's a very good catch taken. Breaks the partnership, takes Kalpesh's wicket, and suddenly things look slightly better for the Avm Yoddhas. 135 for 3, 12.5 overs. 1 ball to go to the end of this over. We're going to have a new batter on the crease. So a single to end the over, that makes it 136 for 3 at the end of 13 overs. A good over from the first over, 9 runs given, a wicket taken, a very important wicket, breaks the partnership. So now we have Abhishek at 50 and Vishal, the new batter, at a single. Start once again. This time we have another new bowler in the attack. Vishal has been given the responsibility this time. He faces off his namesake Vishal as well. Side cut there, that's a good shot. That might run all the way for four. Yes, it does. Well, that was fine, and that was a very, very good shot. You can see once again, just waited for the ball to come over close to the bat, slight touch, the wicketkeeper going the other way, and that runs behind for 4 runs. No third man, no fine leg. Tried to do something similar this time. Could have played on, taken his wicket there, maybe. Yes, he has. That's exactly what it looked like. He's got him. He's got his man there. He's played on. Tried to do something similar. He's played himself on and he's lost his wicket there. Well, so another one falls. And now it's 2 wickets in quick succession for the Utpal Warriors. 140 for 4. Abhishek still at the crease, but Vishal has taken his namesake out of the game and has taken a wicket with him. Vishal now back in the attack. Good defense now. Ronak, the new batter at the crease. He has to make sure that they can build a partnership again now. Abhishek is still at the crease. Don't want all the pressure getting to him because you might end up losing his wicket as well. That's something you don't want. You want to build a partnership. You want to take your time a little with these things. It's just 14 overs now, and that's an awkward shot. And a long throw. Well, that's a heavy throw. That ball will just roll all the way. And that's an extra run there from the overthrow. So 2 runs taken from that. 7 runs in the over so far. A very crucial wicket as well. That's it. Well, that's it. Very well. That found the gap there. And well, Ronak and Abhishek, both of them showing their confidence. Abhishek responding in kind there with the right-handed shot there, getting a very classy four. All the way from offside, pulls it back towards leg side, finds that gap, and plays it very, very well in deep mid wicket. That gets them 4 more runs. Suddenly, looks like a better over. 11 runs from it. Abhishek on strike once again now, facing Nilay this time. Slower ball. Just waited for it. Could have caught him off guard there. See what Nilay wants to do. He knows Abhishek is going for the big shots now. And he wants to just catch him off guard a little. Maybe a little stumping. Maybe a little edge that goes into the hands of the wicketkeeper. Good shot there. That's a very good shot. Puts a good amount of power and lift on it. Lands in no man's land. That's just going to be a single though. It's going to go. And for another four, you can hear the loud cheers. 150 has come up already. And that's going to be another set of four. Overs are still seeming a little expensive. They need to control something. But Ronak and Abhishek are on a roll. The 15th over almost coming to a close here. Three balls to go. Slow ball this time once again. Played it on the back foot. So it's going to be a single. Abhishek on 57 facing Nilay. Once again, final ball of the over. So, a single, considering a double there, no is the answer. So, two overs come to an end for Nilay. 20 runs off it, 157 for 4 at the end of 15 overs. Well, that's a shot down the line, and I think there was a fielder there who almost got on top of it, but ultimately no dice there. So, good start once again. Vishal in the attack. Good fielding. Well, that's a call there. That's a shout there. Is it going to be given out? No. The umpire's not interested. Just says it's a bye and moves on with it. Abhishek down. Has he found the gap? No is the answer. So, few balls already done. And Vishal's over. Had a decent start to the over so far. Took an important wicket as well. He's got that. He got an important wicket right there, and that is a break in the partnership that they did want after all. That's exactly what they were looking for. Now back in the attack, he's taken an important wicket. Couple of good wickets already. 164 for 5 is the score now. 17th over going on. They've gotten Abhishek's very important wicket, and now Sailesh and Ronak at the crease. 5 wickets down already. At one point, it looked like it would be closer to 200, but maybe now they can compose themselves, the bowling side, and control the run rate. Couple of balls left. Ronak on strike now. Nile on the attack towards Ronak. Slower ball this time and kind of fooled Ronak a little bit there. He tried to slice it, couldn't that time. It's been a single run, wicket, dot, single, dot. Just 2 runs off this over and a wicket. This has been a magical over so far, but there's one ball to go. Anything can happen. Kushal once again now. Who is the ask? Sailesh and Ronak just rotating strike well there, keeping up their partnership. So 170 around the corner now, 18th over in the mix, and that's in the air. Well, where's that gonna go? I think it's gonna bounce awkwardly to 4 runs. Well, sometimes it's just lucky. That was a little bit luck because that's not where he intended to hit it. That does not matter. When you get these, you take those. So Salish gets his first boundary. Vishal, 2 balls up. Yeah, once again, it's in the air now. Where it gonna go? It's gonna go in the hands of the fielder there. Well, so they've got another important wicket there. They've got Salish's wicket. So now Salish has been dismissed. 173 for 6. The wickets tumbling a little now as you go lower down the order. And now they want to be able to play all the remaining balls they have left and probably target something around 190. Slight discussion between the umpires there, but looking back, 173 for 6 and 17.3 overs. Vishal has come back with a good spell here in these important overs, and we have Askar now who's going to join the crease along with Ronak. Right-handed Oscar now just taking the crease there. He knows what the target is. He has to go long. He has to wake up and pump up the runs here. First ball, Asghar faces, just lofts it slightly. found the captain, no man's land, and they're asking for two. There's slight confusion there. And the throw, if it was a little faster and a little better, I think it could have really, really hurt the Utpal Warriors. So, another wide is the indicator. Trying to swing on that one. So you can see now that was the end of this over. Start with a new over now. 18.1, 2 overs to go. So Nile, who has been pretty effective over the last few overs, taken a couple of wickets as well. Now faces Siddharth and Ronak on the non-strikers end now. Would want to get on the strike, I'm sure, because now you can see he's asking for a single. I think they'll be happy with a single now. 176 for 7. Another run now. So they're looking like they can still get up to that 190 target that they wanted, but they've lost a lot of wickets. Probably they could have crossed 200 even more, especially with those two very expensive overs where you saw 21 runs, 16 runs go. If you remember the 11th, 12th, and 13th over. But since then, there's been somewhat of a rejuvenation and comeback for the bowling side, the Avm Yoddhas. They would be happy if they can contain this team 190 runs because at one point it was looking much more and that would make it difficult for them. Ronak now on strike. Swinging, swing straight down. There's going to be a fielder there. He's going to get there, cover as well. I think just going to manage a single now. 4 runs in the over so far, and I think he's not happy with his bat there. Maybe some problem. He's not able to get those strikes through like he did in the previous overs. But still, I think there's something more related to the psyche as well. 180 runs are up for 7 wickets. Siddharth and Ronak at the crease. Run rate of about 9.6, which is decent but not that great. Maybe they wanted something a little bit more. They would want at least another 10 to 15 runs in the next 8 balls. Can they do it is the question. Siddharth now swings it up. That's up high. Well, is someone getting underneath it? Where is it going? It's got to go for a six. Well, it didn't look like it had the flight in it, just the height, but it goes all the way for a six, and that is a big one. That could be a huge contribution come at the end of the innings. Well, suddenly changed the entire landscape of this over. Just 4 runs conceded before that. Now 10 runs with 1 ball to go. Is he going to go for a single? Swings once again. This time, that's it. 10 runs from the over, not bad, and that's going to bring Ronak on strike for the final over. The real question is who's going to bowl the final over. We'll see that. But it's 186 for 7 in 19 overs. So Vishal given the responsibility of the final over now, the death over. That's a great ball. That's a very good ball. You can see the pace there. He's increased the pace suddenly. He knows that Siddharth maybe wants to go for the big ones, just making it a little difficult for him. A single off the first ball and a dot ball now. Same again, but this time I think he's gone for a wide. Yes, it is, and they take a single as well. That is not the best feeling. You let Rana come back on strike. You've effectively given 2 runs without costing a ball. Vishal once again now. This time it's in the air. Now that's up high. That's very high. Where's it going to go? And it's caught very well. It's caught extremely well. Wow. That is incredible catch by Vishal himself. That's a cotton ball of a high degree. It takes an important wicket, takes Ronak's wicket with it. It's 189 for 8, 3 balls to go. 190 seems around the ballpark, but 200 was in the picture for a minute there. So, 3 runs in this over so far, 3 balls done as well. Now the question is, last 3 balls, is it going to be for free for all? It's just 2 wickets to go now. 200 still in sights. They need a couple of sixes, at least a single six and then a four or something more. Can they get that? Gautam is going to be the one on strike for the Utpal Warriors. Gautam now on strike. Left-handed batsman, bowler rather, actually left-handed bowler, just left-handed batsman for this moment. getting the field set right, not leaving any gaps, regardless of whoever is batting in front of him there, Vishal. Vishal to Gotham. 3 balls to spare. Maybe Siddharth wants to get on strike. Yes, he does, and he can. Well, that's a good shot. That's a good starting shot. Gets the single, gets the man who scored a six on strike. 190 comes up for the Utpal Warriors, and that's a good score. Everything aside, that's a really good score on the backs of some incredible performances from a few batters there. None better than Abhishek. 2 balls to go now. Siddharth just has opportunities to just swing in the mightiest manner that he can. Good placement there. That's a good shot. I think he's asking for two. And he gets two there. Well, he does get two. That's good running. That's very, very good running. 192 on the board now. And Siddharth on strike for the final ball. Just 6 runs of the over so far. This has been a brilliant performance. Look at the figures for Vishal. 30 runs given, and it's down the line. It's going to be a single. They're going to keep running. They're going to keep running, I'm sure. So 194 comes up, and that's going to be that. 20 overs done, 194 on the board, 195 to win. But look at the figures for Vishal: 4 overs, just 32 runs given, and 4 wickets as well. This could be the man of the match performance if Avm Yoddhas manage to chase this down. 195, the chase is on. We're going to take a very small break, and we're going to be back for the chase. Don't go anywhere. It's only going to get better from here. getting underway with the chase here. Ajay, first ball, a very good ball, and now sort of facing him once again. Tries to find the gap there. The fielder's going to be happy to collect that. So single now of the second ball. That gets Vishal on strike. Shan now setting his stance. Ajay in the attack. Pass approach left hand, and that's a call. Well, that's a heavy call. The umpire not looking interested there. Maybe it was just going down the leg, but there's no way of determining that now. That looked like a very heavy call. Well, still says the same. Will he come back with a new venom now? Hit well, and that's gonna be 4 runs, I think. Yes, that's found the gap. And starts with the boundary there. Ajay in the attack now once again. Hit straight now. There's fielder getting there. Single with the call, and they get that single. Ajay, final ball of the first over. That's a good ball. That is a very good ball. No edge there. And that's going to be that. So 6 runs of the first over. A very good start. 6 for no loss. Salish now in the attack for the second over. He's been given the responsibility. Slow cutter this time. Just bamboozles the batsman a little. Vishal just setting his pace once again. He know that the bowling side would be a little disappointed with the supposed call that was taken in the first over. But the umpire's call is the final call. Strikes well now. Single is the call. Direct throw. Threatened for a moment there. That's good fielding. That is responsive fielding. That is aggressive fielding. You have to put that pressure, and that saved that single there. So great start to the over by Salish. Couple of dot balls. Good ball once again. Now there's a fielder. I think this is going to be covered there. Yes, he has. Maybe he's injured himself a little. They've got a single there. Managed to finally rotate strike, which is to make sure the fielder's fine there. There was an awkward slip. Good ball, very good ball. That's a great start to Salish's over. 4 balls already, just given a single run so far. Very good bowling. He's found the length and line, getting the ball in control, just bowling straight at the stumps, making it very difficult to unleash anything hard there. Now Salish back in the attack. Good ball once again, straight onto the face of the batter there. Just gets another single. So that's 5 balls up, 2 runs given. Nothing more than that. That might go, that might run. That stopped well. So a single in the end. So 3 runs in the over. Very good ball. Very good bowling. Very good over. 9 for no loss at the end of 2 overs. Now Ajay back in the attack. Starts initiating the ball close to the leg there. Played very well towards long on. Oh, that's a shot. That's a great shot. But there's a fielder getting underneath. It slips right through him. And that goes for 4. Well, that was a half chance at least, but it just got to the worst possible outcome there. Not just a wicket, not just a single, not just two. It's gone for a boundary. Almost in the hands of the fielder there. Coming all the way inside from deep extra cover, trying to seize that chance there. Unfortunately, just runs for 4 runs. Lucky escape for Saurabh there, must say. He'll be happy with that. He'll take that. And Ajay, That's a good shot. Uses his legs very well, and that's going to be four more runs. Tears into the banner there. Well, that's a ferocious strike, all right. Ajay just a little bit upset. He could have probably not conceded these 8 runs and gotten a wicket by now. And that's how things change in a matter of few balls. Instead of getting a wicket and dot balls, he's conceded 2 fours already. Ajay now knows he can't bowl towards the leg side there. Goes for the off now, but this time it's full toss. It's going to go for a six, isn't it? Yes, it does. Well, now someone's found their groove. Saurabh is getting himself a little bit free, finding the little bit of gaps, playing with freedom there, and he scored 4, 4, and 6. 14 runs of the last 3 balls. Ajay, do you have a response? He has to find something different here. The offside cutter was not a bad choice, but the full toss option, yes, this is what they want. More of that, but that might just squeeze through. I think that's gone behind the wicket keeper. Now, him being a little bit weak in the field, and that's going to run for 4 more runs. That's going to be 4 by. Well, when it rains, it pours. It truly pours, and you can see how expensive this over is shaping up to be. Even when the ball is perfect, even when the ball beats the batter, something else happens, and the wicketkeeper unfortunately couldn't stop it in time, and that's gone for 4 runs behind as well. 28 runs now, just 9 runs. They had just 9 runs after 2 overs, and now they're at 28 runs already, 19 runs already in this over. The power play is suddenly looking very, very good now for the Avm Yoddhas. They need they need a good amount of runs. They need anywhere between a 50 to 70 in the power play. Last ball of the over now. Final ball of the second over for Ajay. Is there any form of redemption for him, or is he gonna go large once again? This time, just punches it through. It's gonna be a fielder there. It's gonna be a single to end the over. 29 for no loss at the end of 3 overs. 20 runs conceded in this over. Well, suddenly the face of the match has changed a little. Choosing to get Salish back in attack. We did think that Salish would be called on, especially after that brilliant first over and this previous over, which has costed so heavy to the bowling side, to the defending side. They need to bring some sense of control back in the game. And who better than Shailesh, who's only conceded 3 runs in the first over? We shall now try to find the gap there. And it goes through 2 fielders there. Well, that's going to be 4 runs. confusion there, I must say. Could have probably done a little bit better. 4 runs now. Runs keep stacking up for the AVM Yoddhas. Felix once again now in the attack, hoping for a different outcome this time. I think it looks like 4 more runs. There it is. Well, he's been belted around the ground as well. Vishal and Saurabh have really found their confidence, really found their stride. 16 from 10, 18 from 11. They're going band for band in this run chase. Incredible performance in the first few overs. Moving around the field a little now. Just reimagining his bowling approach, I must say. Similar shot now. This time the fielder's ready. He's gone there. Stops it at a single. Shailesh now back in the attack. Good shot there. The fielder waiting for it to come to him. Good fielding. Very good fielding. Calmly, patiently. Made sure he had that covered. Final ball of the over. 10 runs off it. And nothing doing. So, 2 dots to end the over. 1 4 conceded, and the second one maybe a little bit unlucky. But it's 39 for no loss at the end of 4 overs. 2 overs to go to the power play. Fourth, after which we have a small break. So, they're already up to around 40. They're having the run rate close to 10. They're doing very, very well in the chase now. Now, new baller in the attack. Got Ronak to take charge now. Remember, he was good with the bat, especially towards the end. Probably hoping that he can replicate something similar with the ball in his hand as well. First ball by Ronak. The aim would be to break this partnership. I'm sure that is the first step towards victory for Team Utpal. And now, sliced it there. Not going to get any runs there. They want to make sure Vishal and Saurabh that they keep rotating strike, they keep taking runs. Otherwise, the pressure keeps building on just one player. few dots now piling up. Ronak doing a pretty well job considering that it is the batting power play. Limiting the runs, still two more balls to go. Anything could happen, but he wants to make sure that this keeps up. Very, very good ball once again. Now, final ball of the over. Ronak in the attack. Chopped at it slightly. Well, that's going to be that. So, very, very good over. Just one run off it. That's exactly what they needed. The run rate has gone from 10 per over down to 8 already. 40 for no loss at the end of 5 overs. 1 over to go for the end of the power play. Oscar in the attack now for the final over of the power play. A very, very good start. 40 runs on the board now for the Avm Yoddhas. They have to target a minimum of 10 to 12 runs in this over to have the power play be effective. And you can see they're trying to do exactly that, but the fielder's there and he has something to say about that. It's going to be a single, bringing Saurabh on strike. Also, just some final adjustments in the field now. Oscar in the attack. Good shot, and he's found the gap there. Well, he's got that 4 runs backed up. Sort of happy with that. After all the adjustments, he found the gap where he needed to. Once again, try to find the gap on the leg side now towards deep mid wicket. Just gonna be a single. So a dot, a single, 4 runs, and a single. 6 runs of the over so far, 2 balls to go, 46 on the board now for the AVM Yoddhas. Good shot, and that's going down the line. Well, will there be someone covering this slightly awkward bounce? But does very well to save that. That's going to be 2 runs. Tried to just slice it there. I think he completely missed that after the two that they've taken. So that should be the end of that. That is the end of the power play. 48 runs on the board. Not bad. That's 50 runs very close to the power play. And that's a good start for the AVM Yoddhas. Maybe would have wanted a little bit more, but I think that's that. And at the average of 8 runs, a steady start. Vishal 21 for 18, Saurabh 23 for 18, still hold all wickets, 48 for no loss at the end of 6 overs, and the chase continues. Ronak now comes in the attack, and well, remember, just conceded 1 run in his over in the power play. Now maybe trying to replicate something of that order. Single of the first ball, you know the quality that he possesses. Run up to Vishal. That's a dead ball. Looks like a dead ball there. Wide is the signal. Another single now. So a single, a wide, a single. Good feeling towards deep point. This time, well, he's found the gap there. That's going to go behind all the way for 4 runs. That's very well played over the slip there and towards 4 runs at the back. Wow, that's a great shot. Whether he meant it or not, we don't know. It doesn't matter, but that is a great shot. Now, once again, 55 on the board now. 50 came up in the last few balls. Seventh over still going on. Ronak a little expensive this time around, but not too bad considering the chase at hand. That's a good ball. That is a very good ball. So just one more ball left before the end of this over. It's a good shot. That's in the air, and well, that's gonna go be a maximum. Just in the end, just as we said, shaping out to be a very, very good over. That's what one boundary does. That's the difference that it makes, and suddenly that pick six takes them up all the way to 61. Good hit. That was a huge maximum. Now it's in the air. Asgar trying to just get the ball under control. Maybe they want a wicket now. That's the end goal. Maybe they can try some variations because they have to now break this partnership. It's already up to 63, and it's turning out to be very deadly. As long as these two openers continue, there's a very, very good pace that they've already built. Already chased one third of the score between themselves, and they look to not be stopping anytime soon if this continues the same way. Defense now and try to find the gap there. Slightly try to nick that one. Wicket keeper just making sure that there's no overthrows there. Couple of singles already. So not the worst over in the world now. Four balls up, 2 runs, a single, and a single. A dot ball. So good limiter over here from Asgar. 5 runs of it so far. One ball to go. Saurabh, you can see, you remember the last over. He can be dangerous at any given moment. You never know. Try to hit you for a six. Try to hit you for a four. Give him a loose ball. He's gonna go large. And that's in the air. Just as we were talking about, maybe a possibility of a six, and he does that. of the last ball of the over. Once again, the entire efforts of your 5 balls just go to waste when you get hit like that on the final one. And Asghar turning out to be an expensive over once again in the end. 72 for no loss at the end of 8 overs. And Saurabh up at 41 now. See a couple of big ones once again. You can hear the cheers from the dugout there. 4 and 4 back to back. They introduced Gotham to try and get something different to roll out in this over with his new spell. But Vishal just knocks them out for 4 and 4. 80 runs come up now. 115 needed from 11.4 overs. They are catching up. And they're not going it about the slow and steady way. They're going large. Two openers all the way to 18. No wickets. It's slowly just slipping out of the hands this way. And now, once again, down the line, I think he should have it covered this time. A little flatter there. Didn't get the right connection. Didn't get the right amount of power that he wanted behind the ball there. Once again, tried to find a better opening there. 4 4 and a couple of singles and one more. So one more ball to go. 11 in this over as well. 83 already up. And with that, well, finally managed to get that breakthrough. That was exactly what they wanted. They wanted a wicket, they needed a wicket, and they have got that wicket. 83 for 1, they finally got the breakthrough, broke the partnership. Saurabh has been dismissed. And well, what an innings it has been. Outstanding innings so far. But now they found a chance. They smell an opportunity here. And Avm Yoddhas lose the first wicket. So Siddharth now introduced as a new bowler, four of the first ball itself. Great touch from Vishal, taking the onus now. He is the experienced batsman. He is the set batter now, and well, found the opening once again. What a gap finding shot there. Another four. That was a shot of confidence. The big four then, and suddenly 97 on the board. Vishal on 49. He looks full of confidence now. 49 from just 30 balls. Dattaram on the non-striker's end, trying to just help out, just keep things calmer. The side would inch ever so close to the 10 over mark. And if you remember, if I remember correctly, Utpal were close to 88 at the end of the first 10 overs. Of course, they accelerated a little bit more after that. They lost some wickets as well. So currently, they are 9 runs ahead here. Avm Yoddhas with one ball to go for the end of the 10th over. He's trying to strategize, he's trying to think what can work in their favor. They need something to go in their favor. Final ball of the 10th over before we take A small drinks break. Knocked it well. Oh, well, that's gonna be that. So that's the end of the 10th over. 97 for 1 at the end of 10 overs. Still pretty much ahead on par, and they're setting themselves up for a very, very good chase here. Now Dataram facing Oscar. Dataram on strike. Immediate strike rotation gets single. We resume once again. 11th over now. The chase continues. 97 needed from 99.5 overs. Still got some chasing to do. Try to slice it there now. Up in the air this time, and well, there's a fielder getting there, but he was close, not close enough. Catch them the boundary after all, and the 100 figure comes up as well now. 103 on the board. Tataram just striking around very well. Vishal completes his half century. The 100 comes up for the Avm Yoddhas as well. 92 needed now. They're slowly and steadily inching close. Ever so close. Try to slice now towards the offside there. Vishal now on strike. He's kept at it since the very beginning, hasn't he? Picked up the slack when they lost Saurabh as well. And now this time there's a call there. Nobody could get underneath there in time. That was an opportunity. No player there at mid off, coming all the way from long off and not reaching there in time. So 27 runs now considered across 3 overs for Asghar. Not the worst here, but consistently just getting a little bit of bad luck on the boundaries. 105 for 1 at the end of 11 overs. Gotham now brought back in the attack. 12 conceded in his first over, but got a very important wicket. He's the only one who's managed to get a breakthrough so far. So maybe they want him to find something once again. Question is, can he, if he can get a wicket here, break the partnership again? Then maybe not. So a couple of singles. Vishal now on strike. Good bowling so far from Gotham. You can see he's been working, just tempting a little, but this time he's gone big and he's gone for a maximum. You could see what Gotham was trying to do, trying to just tempt a little bit, but this time it goes for a big, big six. And well, that is huge. That's gone way out of the park there. Vishal just stepping up to it, going for the biggie there. Gotham now. What is his reply going to be? What can he come up with next? Similar feeling, similar spot rather there, but this time just a little bit slow. except for the six. It's been a fairly good over. You can see that, and this has been the consistent situation for the Avm Yoddhas. They managed to have overs where they're just scoring singles, a one, two, three, four, and towards the end they still managed to get those six or four runs in the over, just trying to and making sure that they up the run rate towards the end. That has been a brilliant part of their chase so far. Now, Ronak in the attack, 2 overs, 14. You can remember just one run was conceded by him in the first over in the power play itself. Samit's in the air, and well, slightly short there. Just slightly short there. But tried to go for a big one. Oh, that's half a bouncer there, probably just catching him off guard a little. Probably just wants to maybe change his gap. Maybe looking for a helmet even. We will see. Now back in the attack. Good ball this time. Tried to squeeze a single there. Good running between the wickets. 120 mark has already come up. 74 needed now from 7.2. They're going consistently well with the run rate, not trying to hit it too much, too long, too soon, but also making sure that the run rate doesn't grow on them. Currently, good with the chase. Now, wide is the signal. Well, seemed to be off the line there, and it was. That's the indicator. That's another good ball. That is another good ball. Another wider option once again now. A lot of extras in this over. And is it another one? This time, the umpire says it's legit. So, that is the end of the over for Ronak. 21 across the first three overs for him. A few extras here which he would want to avoid. But, well, 123 for 1 at the end of 13 overs. 7 overs to go, 72 runs needed. Start now, brought back in the attack. That's on the leg. That's a good ball. That's going to be a quick single. They steal that there. That was a good ball. Starts with a money ball right on the leg. Difficult to play. Slightly tempting at times, even. But still, they need a wicket now. They need a wicket. They need to break this partnership if they want to start protecting the lead here. 71 runs look good on the board, but one expensive over will suddenly change it around. And when you have two set batters on the crease, that expensive over is not far away. Vishal now trying to hit it wide there. Maybe finds the gap a little, takes a single. They're looking for two. The throw is coming. Are they going to reach in time? And I think this got him. Oh, well, he missed it slightly. He's missed the stumps there. Looked for a moment like he got his man there. Well, that was an opportunity. That was a really big opportunity there. Well, you don't get too many of those. They have to make sure, especially when it was Vishal whose wicket was at risk there. Now, wide, strong, they'll be happy with that. And that's in the air. Well, he's hit it hard. That's going to be a six, probably. Yes, it goes for a maximum. That is the six they needed in this over, and they get that. Well, a biggie, and the plane just going behind in a scenic imagery, just glorifying the very exquisite match that we're watching here. 62 needed now from 6.2. It's been consistent with the number of overs since for a long time now. 62 from 38 balls, and that's a swing and a miss there. Well, that was close. That was close. 62 from 41 for Vishal. He has been immense today. Another swing and a miss, and well, no, he gets an edge there. Well, the finger goes up. He gets that edge. He began to walk off as well. He knew that as well. And wow, they have gotten the breakthrough that they needed. They've got a very, very important wicket there. Vishal, who was going for the big ones, who was going for the maximums. Now, they've got Saurabh and they've got Vishal as well. Suddenly, Tataram now, the experienced set batter on the crease. Now, with Salish, they have a lot of chasing to do. Very, very interesting turn in events. You can see this over already went for 10 runs. So they were pretty much in and around the net run rate that they needed. But still, they've lost a wicket, and that is probably the expensive situation right now. And right after they've taken a wicket, they choose to bring Ronak into the attack once again. This is going to be his final over. He's had a great spell so far. Amidst all this chaos, he has sustained himself close to an average of 7 runs in over, much below the required run rate. So he's done his job, not taken any wickets yet, but been very consistent with the ball and with the way he has been delivering those deliveries. Ronak now facing the new batter, Selish. It's going to be the final over of his spell as we inch ever so close to the 15th over. Cut it slightly. Well, there's a gap there, and the fielder converging. Thought about two. No was the answer. Once again, now it's in the air. Dattaram, brilliant connection. Is someone getting underneath it? And he does catch it. Wow, on the boundary. What a catch that is. For a moment, it looked to be a six, but it's been taken and taken very well. And they've taken another wicket there. 18 from 14, not too bad. Almost got a brilliant six there. But instead, he's lost his wicket. And suddenly, slight trouble now for Avm Yoddhas. Two very, very new batters. Someone really has to step up and take initiative and onus here because it is becoming a slightly difficult situation now. Well, now this is what you call an interesting end to a chase, to a match. Ronak has finally taken his first wicket and almost takes another one here. Vishal P, the new batter on the crease, Salish, fairly new as well on the other side. Both of them were very, very good with the ball. But now they have to replicate that form with the bat as well. There's still another 60 runs to chase and just 32 balls now. The run rate all the way up now close to 12. The last two overs proving very, very costly. And now, where is it going to go to? Another fielder this time. No man's land. Couldn't get to the top of it. And two is the call. And they get two there. Well, that could have been another wicket, another dismissal. Slightly lucky there. Well, Ronak really, really making his mark with the final over of his spell here. Now, once again, Vishal on strike. This time, I think there's a man there. No, no man's land once again. A little lucky this time, maybe only a single. So, that's going to be the end of that over. 26 runs given at the end of 4 overs for Ronak. A wicket as well. Very, very good figures. And it's 138 for 3 at the end of 15 overs. 57 runs needed in the last 30 balls. It is possible, but it is a big ask. Siddharth now in the attack. He's been brought back. Maybe to create an opening of a wicket here. Slowly and steadily. Now, Team Utpal is growing back into the fore now. Utpal Warriors, those few extra runs that they scored in the end, suddenly seeming like very, very important runs. Wide ball there. Chasing there, Vishal, but that's a wide. 138 for 3. You still have your batters at the crease. You should try and get one big over between these next 5 overs, which would probably cross your 20, 25 mark, even if you can, at least the 20 mark. That is what you need. One such over. Another, and that's a good shot. Well, is that going to go all the way? And that goes into hands of the fielder once again. Not enough power, not enough flight, and that's another wicket. Vishal is dismissed as well, and now the game is truly turned in the favor of the Utpal Warriors. Well, this is getting difficult for Avm Yoddhas. So now it's 139 for Chetan is the new batter at the crease, and things are getting really rough now for the Avm Yoddhas. The run rate is closer to 9. The required run rate is inching closer to 13 now. Things are getting out of hand, and they really, really need one or even two very big overs now to pull themselves back into the game. And I don't see where they're going to come from. Siddharth, who earlier went for a big, big number, now once again, it's a no man's land. It's a single. They're going to run for two. But still, twos are not enough. You need sixes, you need fours, and the batters on the crease now. It looks like they need some time to get set here. The dismissal of Vishal was very, very crucial earlier, and after that, losing a couple more wickets as well. Chetan now. Again a swing, and this time maybe a fielder there. That's gone for a six. Well, that is what they needed. That's exactly what they needed. 9 runs now from this over, getting closer to what they need. Need need another boundary probably to just make it a good over. After all, the 150 will come up as well. Can they do it? And that's got him. He's got his man now. That's a good ball. He opened up his hands there, created the space, but missed the ball. The ball stayed low, and that is another wicket. So now 147 for 5 at the end of 16 overs. Very crucial over this one for Siddharth. Takes two important wickets here. Suddenly, it's looking incredibly tough now for Avm Yoddhas. Salish now bowling to Salish. Looked like a wider ball that time, but he still played it. Cut it slightly. Single is the ask, and they're going to get that single. Thought about two, but didn't look like 2 runs there. Would lose another wicket. They have to be very handy with the wickets now. They've lost 5 already. 3 of them especially in quick succession. You can say that. The two openers doing a very fantastic job in this huge run chase, but there has to be another superstar now if they want to chase this big figure. 47 still needed, and the balls, well, they are dwindling. 12, 13, 14 needed per over. They need that huge over. They need to target someone here who can fetch them 20 runs in that one over. Otherwise, it's just going to keep getting out of their hands. And the problem is, both their batters are extremely new, extremely fresh to the crease. They've not gotten time to assess the pitch and the situation of the match. They haven't got time to understand the conditions. They haven't got the time to even prepare themselves, catch some momentum, try a few shots, nothing of that sort. And that is extremely important here. And that's in the air well. Slightly confusion there, trying to run back, and he misses the stumps there. Well, you can see the frustration. That was not a run, son. That was not a run. That was going to be difficult for the striker to reach in time. I know you need runs, but you don't want to lose your wicket in these situations, which will only compound your misery. Salish now to Salish. Now defending. Quick switch, and they get that one run now. Well, runs are functioning, but they're not going to be enough. The run rate will keep shooting higher and higher, and it looks very difficult where they're going to get their boundaries from. Field set seems to be choking them a little. The momentum is against them. Can someone step up now? Can someone create a moment for themselves? Well, it's in the air, and that might go all the way for a six. That is the moment you're talking about. That is the kind of momentum you need. And well, if Saurabh can do that, he has to stay at the crease right till the end. A couple more of that at least to bring them back into the game. We saw that earlier from a couple of batters as well, but they lost their wicket after that, especially thrice in this match. The Avm Yoddhas have lost the wickets on the final ball of an over. So now Saurabh knows what he has to avoid. He knows that if he goes for a big one, he has to clear the fence. This time against the ground there, just a single. Looking for two now. Can they get there in time? And then he can't. Well, that was not needed. That was really, really not needed. Saurabh could have taken the single. He would have gotten back on strike as well. I don't know why you needed to go for the second run there. And unfortunately, they've lost another wicket now. They've lost Salish in that runner. And they're down to six now. 157 for six. We spoke about how they've lost a wicket now four times on the last ball of an over. Did that once again. They need to be a little smarter there. 38 needed from 3 overs. Still, it is on. 12 needed per over. It's not lost, but they need to be smart about how they approach the game. Nilay now on strike now. Siddharth is the one who's been given the responsibility. He has gone for 32 runs before, especially I think around 27, 28 in the first 2 overs itself. But he got a wicket. He got the first wicket, I think, and then he's also gotten 2 wickets in his last over. This is going to be the final over of his spell, and they need 12 to 13 runs in this over, if not more. Nile, the new batter on strike. Just swings it there. Has he found the gap? Well, he has found a single there. That brings Saurabh on strike. You remember the large six that he went for, and he has to be smart about how he runs between the wickets as well. There is potential here for them to win the game, which would be a classic win. But he has to play till the end and he has to get those runs 10, 12 runs per over. That onus is on him. Those fours and those sixes. Swing and a miss there for Saurabh. They know what he's going for, they know what he wants. They expect his decisions, and he has to still outsmart the bowlers there. It's gonna be a chase for the ages as it heats up. It's down to him, and well, that's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of responsibility, especially with you being six down. It's not that you have four other batters to come after you. So you know what this means. Can he deliver? It's up in the air once again, and I think that's gonna go for another flyer. That is a six. Another biggie, and well, that is what Saurabh can do. And well, if you keep it up, son, this match can be yours. They're just trying to work out how they're gonna play against him, what kind of delivery they're gonna send him. But well, he's sending them all to the bleachers right now. And he's making this a very interesting end. So 31 needed now from 17 balls. 15 balls, sorry. 31 needed from 15 balls. Needs another one in this over, or at least a couple of fours then. Oh, that's a good ball. You can see the swing on it well. That was played very well, and he has smartly put it down for 4 runs. Well, that is an outstanding shot. Just waited, and the way the ball curled in, I think maybe it was a little bit because of the pitch as well. It just swung in the end. You don't see this kind of swing in the 17th, 18th over. But that's gone for four. 6 and 4, 10 runs already of the last balls, 11 in this over. So they need two more over the next two balls to just get to par. If he can go for another four or six, then that plus, and now he tried to cut it this time. Single is what they get. So 12 runs now in this over. That's the last ball of the over now. Nila will be facing that. I think Saurabh should tell him this is going to be a free for all. Just go for a big hit. Just try whatever you can. I need the strike in the next over. Let's not take a single. You just go treat this as a free shot now, a free hit for you. The left hander, especially, if he can swing it right, the ball is going to come in his zone. 169 on the board now. Oh, that's a swing, and well, they're still running. They run for a single. Sort of just being a little cheeky there. Just looking, waiting for a throw, maybe. I don't know what he was waiting for. But they've taken a single, which I think they shouldn't have, because that would have gotten Saurabh on strike, which he needs to be at the end of each over. But well, this has been a good over. They've made their 13 runs in this over. They keep the run rate contained to the same asking rate as before. They've chased the 13. They need another 13 and 12 in the next two overs. If Saurabh can just get a couple of sixes, four, maybe. The next over is going to be very crucial. The 19th over. Who is it going to be? Looks like it's going to be Asghar. And that is a sight that they do not want to see, especially with the way he has bowled today. Just given 9 runs, the average. Been very good with the ball, Asghar. Nilay now on strike. Saurabh, on the other hand, just changing, going for the cap option, removes the helmet, taking maybe a little bit of risk, but he's fine with that. So now, 2 overs to go. Just setting the field right. You see, you know what he's trying to do. Maybe, I don't know if Nila can try and get something towards the back end. Maybe there's no fine leg. Maybe there's no slip. You can see that. If he can get that late cut, especially when the ball's going to be a little faster, we have to see. Well, he's flected well that time, and there's a fielder there. Two fielders converging. They slip on each other there. And I think that's going to be 2 runs. Yeah, well, they've got two. That's good running. So Nile, that's a fancy shot. You can see they have two fielders there in the deep because they know that's where the left-hander is going to try and pull the shot with all his might. So that's a good ball. I think he's claiming that the wicketkeeper just grabbed on it before crossing the line. Doesn't look to be the case, but that's a good ball by Asghar. I mean, 2 runs is good, but that's the entire point. Sort of being on the crease makes a lot of difference, and well, that's just gone through. That might just run for 4. Oh well, that's gone. That's missed everyone, and that's 4 runs. Well, that is what they wanted. They're happy with that. They're gonna take that. That's incredibly unlucky for the Utpal Warriors because it just deceived everyone there. The ball there. 6 runs now. They're asking for 20 in this over. Seems like a big ask, but maybe Nile. And there you go it. You can see the swing, you can see the spin. It's difficult for him to judge, and this is exactly what we were talking about. This is exactly why you needed someone like Saurabh on strike there. And once again, another dot ball. 3 dot balls already in this over, and I think this is where the match is going to get out of their hands. And ultimately, the decision that Saurabh made at the end, the final ball of the last over, maybe he would be out. Maybe he wouldn't make the runs. But here he's just watching and he's just watching the runs go by. And is he going to take another set of double? Yes, he has. I absolutely have no idea what Saurabh has in his mind right now. Well, I'm not the player, so it's not maybe making sense to me. But he really, really shouldn't be doing this. Now he finally gets on strike. Maybe that was the only reason. He need to get back so he gets on strike for the final over. But I do not see 17 runs coming in the final over. Maybe if it was 12, maybe if it was 15, 13, maybe something of that sort. 2 sixes would bring you close. You need an equivalent of 3 sixes now. 50% of your overs need to be sixes. And I think Saurabh has just put himself in a very, very difficult position right now. And just 2 to 3 good balls are going to secure victory for the Utpal Warriors. 3 balls is all they need. Saurabh on strike. I think he has to make sure that he doesn't rotate strike this time. He has to face all 6 balls if he can. If he has an opportunity for singles, don't take it. I think, of course, that adds pressure. That is a lot of risk taking. That's a lot of responsibility. But maybe just go for it. Well, let's see. What can Saurabh do? Salish now. Final over. Saurabh, good hit there. Is he going to go for 2? He has to go for 2. And he runs 2 there. Well, 15 needed of the next 5. Try to find the gap there. Saurabh just trying to assess the field setting here. Oh, he wanted to play it behind, I think. Gonna ask for 2. Are they gonna reach there? I think they should. There's no fielder there. And Saurabh gets back in time once again now. That's 2 and 2. 4 runs, 13 now. He needs a 6 now, and he needs a 6 on this ball, I think, because otherwise the pressure is just going to keep mounting. And he's hit it up. He's got it large, and that looks like a maximum. Well, that's out of the park. That is a huge maximum, and they need seven now of three. Well, well. Is it interesting now? Are you not entertained? Sort of. Well, he has gone for the maximum, and he's taken that right out of the park. He needs seven runs from the next three balls. He can take twos, and twos, and still have a super over. Well, they're finding the ball now. It's way out of the park. Three balls now. He's going around the wicket, going over the wicket now. Trying a different approach. Maybe something on the leg for Saurabh now. Everyone's on their feet. He says no. And that's a smarter decision, I think. Two more balls. He needs 1-6. 1-6. Maybe even a four. That's a very good ball. Going around the wicket. Maybe he could have gotten two on this ball, because there was nobody at the stumps. Maybe he could have at least gotten back in time. You never know. And there it is down the line. Is it going to reach the crease? Good save there. Very good save there. Important save there. Well, it's going to be 5 runs now. That could have been a four. That could have been 3 runs needed. Well, that was close. That could be the save of the match there. Great piece of fielding there. Ronak coming clutch there. Now, 5 needed off this one ball. You know what he needs. He needs a 6 or he needs 4. 4 to tie the score. And we go to a super over then. 6 to win the game. Just one good ball from Sailesh. What are we going to see? And it's up in the air. I think it's going to go for a maximum there, and he has probably won it. Oh no, he's got it there. Oh, he's dropped. But well, it's just short. That is just short, and that is going to be that. 3 runs remain. It looked to be in the air, it looked to be going to the boundary, but just short. It was not caught, but 2 runs, and Utpal Warriors win the game by 2 runs. What an end we've had to an amazing game here. This is a highlight reel of a game, and Saurabh, well, he gave it his all. Truly did. Took it all the way right to the end. Slightly unfortunate. I mean, Saurabh did what he could. You can't blame him. But that 19th over, where Saurabh did not take strike, I think that is what is coming back to bite them in the end. 6 runs off that over. Even a couple of more, and that would have been a victory or at least course level there. It could have been anything. Well, decisions, decisions. Utpal Warriors, well deserved winners here. They fought back very well. At one point, you were close to 80, 90 runs with the openers still playing. They took a succession of wickets. 192 for 6 for the AVM Yoddhas. And of course, Utpal Warriors win by 2 runs. Great bowling in the end. You know, those 2 runs saved in this penultimate ball, which was almost going for the four. There's a lot of those mini moments, but in the end, well deserved victory. Congratulations to them, and this has been a really amazing match to see. Well, thank you for streaming in, thank you for joining in. There is another match coming, so don't go anywhere, but this is all for this match. Thank you.